talking about how the Me Too movement has changed America. Make no mistake, change was needed. Case in point, Amber Wyatt. Back in 2006, Amber was a rising high school junior in Arlington, Texas. That's when she says two students raped her after a party. She told an adult. She told classmates, she told her mom, and she went to police almost immediately. But rumors began to swirl about Amber, that she was a willing participant, that she was a girl with a bad reputation. Washington Post reporter Elizabeth Bruenig went to the same school as Amber. She was a year behind her. And she always wondered about those rumors. So she did what good reporters do. She dug into the story. And the headline of her piece, 12 years ago, Amber Wyatt reported her rape. Few believed her. Her hometown turned against her. The authorities failed her. Amber is here in a moment for her first television interview. But first, reporter Elizabeth Bruenig on the vicious rumor she could not forget.
All the kids were buzzing, talking about what had been painted on the school. It had said something very vulgar about a girl named Amber. And around that time, I started noticing on the backs of the cars, FAITH. It was an acronym. It stood for something. It stood for Amber in the Head. I eventually heard about it in an art history class I was in. A cheerleader said she'd been raped by a football player and another guy. And what I was told at the time, what I heard, was that she had recanted, that she took it all back. In 2015, I decided to contact Amber and break ground on reporting this case. I first asked her to tell me her version of events. And then after that, I said, well, did you ever recant? Did you ever take it back? She said, no, never. I never took it back. And she was adamant.
Joining me now, Amber Wyatt, along with her attorney, Gloria Allred. Great to have you both here. Thank you for joining us. So, Amber, let's start by going back to August 11th, 2006. You're a rising junior. You're on the varsity cheerleading squad. You are at this party, and two boys, a soccer player and a football player, say to you, let's go for a run, a food run or a beer run. And so you get in the truck with them. Instead of taking you to a restaurant or a store, they wind up taking you to a shed.
Yeah, it was like a barn shed, kind of hidden back. It wasn't, you weren't able to see it from the road. But they told me that there was more alcohol in there because we had been drinking at the party. And they took me inside, and they said it was up on the top of the barn. There was 2 stories, and there was a ladder going to the top. So climbed up the ladder, and once we got there was no alcohol. And they both raped me simultaneously in 2 different areas. And I remember just wanting to be out of myself. I tried fighting back. I told them to stop at first, but you know, once I was in that position, I didn't know what to do with myself. I remember just trying to wait it out and pray. And when I got the chance to fight back, I did push off the one that was behind me, and I got off, and I put on my clothes, but I didn't even have time to grab my sports bra or my underwear. I just put my shorts and my T-shirt on and got out of there, and they took me back to where the party was originally, and I told another student, I told a mom, and I told another student as well immediately, probably with 5 minutes, because as soon as they let me out, I was bawling, you know, I was shaking. You know, I'd just gone through.
What was that ride like back from the shed where you say you were raped to the party, these 2 guys and you in the truck?
It was silent. There was no music. There was nothing going on. One of them told me not to tell anyone, and I just sat there, you know. But I knew immediately, even when we were in the truck and they told me not to tell someone, I was like, I'm telling.
Did you know these guys prior?
I knew of them, but we weren't friends. We were acquaintances since they were sports players and I was a cheerleader. You know, you interact, but I didn't have their phone numbers. I wasn't friends with them.
When you first got back to the party, you had misidentified one of the guys.
I did.
You knew one. You said, this one guy is my attacker, and you said another guy is my attacker who wasn't actually in the truck.
Right.
So how did you clear that up?
I cleared that up after talking to a friend. When I had told them what had happened, he's like, no, that was so-and-so that was in
You knew it was the two guys in the truck.
I knew it was two guys in the truck, and the people that I actually misidentified, they look very, very, very similar. So,
you know, on paper, you did all the, quote, right things, right? Mm-hmm. You told an adult who was hosting the party, the mother of somebody hosting the party. You told a classmate. The next day, you went home, told your mom.
I did.
And you got a sexual assault exam.
Yeah.
You went to the police. Mm-hmm. You documented your injuries. You went on the record. So what happened? What happened? What happened was backlash, almost immediate, against Amber and her family from the community. Welcome back, everyone. We're speaking today with Amber Wyatt, who was just 16 years old back in 2006 when she says two of her fellow high school students raped her. Amber went to police hours after the attack, but instead of feeling supported by her fellow students and her community, she says she was labeled a liar, and most people turned against her. Back with me now, Amber Wyatt, along with her attorney, Gloria Allred. So, Amber, you do all the things, and the nurse who did the exam on you spoke to the Washington Post and said, you know, there had been swabs all over you. They did test positive for semen. It was matched up to that of the soccer player. And the nurse said, make no mistake about it, that girl was raped. That the physical evidence on you, the abrasions and the tears and so on, made very clear to the medical examining nurse that this was not an act of consent. The boys didn't comment on it. They wouldn't give an interview. They got saliva swabs from them, but they never said it was consensual or anything. They just didn't speak, which legally was probably a good move. And we'll get to what happened legally in just one second. But why? Why did the community turn on you?
That's a great question. Just to show you the magnitude of this, like, I had gone to school with these people since kindergarten. I had played soccer with these same women from kindergarten through 8th grade, and those women were at the party. I quit soccer and I started doing cheerleading, and those women were at the party, and after that party, they did not want anything to do with me. It was everyone. One, they said I was drunk, so I didn't know what I was talking about, was a big thing. And I think it was just that, to quote it, was herd mentality, right? Here's some of the most popular people in school. They wanted to follow that. I also think that, you know, the adults really failed us in that situation. I immediately told an adult. She didn't call the cops. She told me to go to bed.
This is Cindy Marks. Mm-hmm. She was the adult you told the night it happened. She gave an interview to the police. We have an excerpt of it. The longer piece makes very clear she's very defensive about what went on at the party, whether there was drinking, whether she knew about it. But here's a clip of her.
Can you kind of characterize what type of party this was?
It was just an innocent swim party is how it started.
What about the kids out there? Obviously, based on everybody's testimony, they were drinking.
Which I never saw.
Okay.
They were all like, get Amber out of here.
Who was saying that?
I can't tell you.
Okay. Do you know why they were saying that?
Yeah, because she was being obnoxious.
So you think she was on drugs?
That's what it appeared to me.
What was her demeanor and behavior?
Just kind of.
So that you told her that you'd been raped.
I told her.
What did she do?
She told me that I needed to go to bed, and she brought me some pajamas and took my clothes, and I went to bed. So I think that started the ripple effect, right? Like,
there's something wrong with you. That there was something wrong with you.
Right.
We reached out to her. She did not respond to our attempts to contact her. She later denied ever hearing about a rape, and yet there was a student eyewitness who said he was there when you told her that you'd been raped. and basically chalked it up to you with this horrible reputation. Now, I should say there were traces of drugs found in your system when they did the testing on you the next day.
There was, yes.
And you admit that?
I admit that. I had smoked weed and took a Valium earlier in that week.
And you've been intoxicated. I mean, the question is,
I
if you're so intoxicated that it's still showing up in your blood work a day later, you know, the medical consultant in this case suggested that that may eliminate your ability to consent at all. I know your argument is there wasn't even the semblance of consent. You were saying no, no, no. So the bullying went on and on at school. Harassment.
Harassment. They told me they were going to put bombs in my mailbox and blow it up. I would walk through the hallways, and sometimes I needed someone to walk with me because they were yelling. I don't think I could say the kind of stuff on this show that they were saying.
And they spray painted the word faith.
They painted that on the back of the cars one day where we were in class.
Which did not mean faith. It meant something too vile for television, but it was basically F, Amber, in various,
the head.
Yeah. So faith, they took the word faith of all things.
Yeah, I think it started out, what I heard, it's to have faith in the boys, but the acronym came along because I did walk out and see faith all over the cars.
Meanwhile, Amber's trying to pursue her case in the criminal courts and trying to get justice there. And wow, did the courts let her down. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking today with Amber Wyatt. When she was 16, she reported to the police that she'd been raped by 2 fellow students. She told adults, she told her mother, she told students, and as I said, the cops. And then she says many in the community labeled her a liar. As the Washington Post put it, she wasn't just doubted, but hated, not simply mocked, but exiled. Amber's back with me, along with her attorney, Gloria Allred. So, Gloria, did they bring it to the grand jury?
Well, that's what the prosecutor allegedly said. But here's who he didn't bring to the grand jury. He didn't bring the person who was allegedly the victim in the case, Amber. She never had an opportunity to testify. The nurse, whom you mentioned, Megyn, who did the medical exam, who believed her that she was in fact raped, and who had listed the injuries that she found on Amber that were consistent with the rape. The nurse was never called to testify.
Let me ask you, because
the semen was found of one of the boys.
Right, the physical evidence was strong in this case, which is unusual. A lot of the times, rape victims don't have that. This is Tarrant County down in Texas. The Washington Post reporter says 51% of the so-called date rapes brought before the grand jury down there at that time, 51% resulted in no bill, no proceeding. 51%. Contrast that with Austin. She did the math. Just 13% of those cases are not brought. So what was going on in Tarrant County?
And that question is so important, because why are the majority of the cases taken to the grand jury not coming back with an indictment? We all know the expression that a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich. It's whatever the prosecutor asks.
Yep.
And the prosecutor obviously didn't present all of the evidence or even enough of it to the grand jury. And instead, Amber says that what happened was she never even got a call that the case was not going to be prosecuted. Her dad got the call and was reportedly told it's his word against hers. We're not prosecuting.
It wasn't.
There's no indictment.
You had evidence. You had physical evidence. The Washington Post actually reported that in 2009, all of the physical evidence was destroyed per their policy after a no bill. I will say, we've been told, we reached out as well, that some still exists. And we reached out to the Tarrant County DA office. This is what they told us. They said, we're not able to discuss this case at this time, except to say that there have been significant changes in the way sexual assault cases are handled by this office since that time. The no-bill rate for sexual assaults by the Tarrant County grand jury has dropped to 14.81% this year, which, you know, hopefully will help other women, but doesn't help you. Can we just spend a minute on the aftermath, Amber, because you had to switch schools. You know, your high school career was basically over, and the Amber prior to August, you know, of 2006 was over too.
Yeah.
Can you just walk us through, because there were DUIs, there was drug addiction.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, the person that I was before that incident, I died. That person died, and I had to rebuild that person myself, because the whole community had turned around. I didn't have friends. I didn't have anyone to really count on except for family. And at that time, all I found was drugs and alcohol that would numb what I was feeling, and didn't give me anxiety. I was so anxious going anywhere, and that was the only thing that gave me the strength at that time to get through it, you know?
I feel like too often and that's our mentality as Americans. We toughen up and we forge forward. I mean, that's just baked into American DNA. But as the Washington Post points out, you look at that 2010 mugshot of Amber.
Oh, yeah.
And they talk about how it shows you disheveled and on the verge of tears, bearing only a passing resemblance to the bright and outgoing cheerleader that you'd been just 4 years before. You can see the pain in your eyes there.
Oh, yeah.
And for you to come out and tell the story actually it's shifted things even in your own life. I just want to tell the audience before I let you go about the letters you've gotten, including one from the captain of the football team, not a man who'd been accused. He says, I owe her my respect. I owe her my respect of not doing my regret. I owe her my regret of not doing more in the moment and after. While I did not participate in the after effects of bullying, I didn't do anything to stop it. And I had a voice that might have been listened to. Yeah. What do you want to say to the people of your old school who are now seeing this in a different light?
I mean, we were kids. I was talking about it earlier. Our adults really failed us in that situation. There were no consequences. They weren't learning what was right and wrong. You know, we were looking to our parents, our teachers, administrators, but even they didn't want to deal with it, you know? So the kids did the same thing. They followed lead. And so I understand we were kids. And honestly, I had to forgive them for me to move on.
Yep. I know you're back in college now.
I am in college.
You married?
I am married.
Good. All the best to you. And thanks for telling your story. Gloria, thank you as well. We did reach out to your school district. They said their current policies and their student code of conduct prohibit the actions and allegations in this incident. They say we work closely with the police department on all allegations to ensure that a thorough investigation is done, which would include statements from all students involved. All the best. Take care. We'll be right back.